Bureaucracy has become a fourth branch of the U.S. government. Unelected officials making laws, inflicting penalties of fines and/or jail time. What is the Republic of Texas position? Chaplain Capps.
Dealing with government and what the fact we're facing today, I think it is accurate to call the bureaucracy the fourth branch of government. It's unintended, it's unelected, it's unmanageable, and there's no recourse to stop failure in that. The idea of bureaucracy goes all the way back to the Romans. Diocletian used it. Basically was one of the ones that helped destroy Rome by setting in multiple layers of people to do civil service type jobs. It was really refined in the modern sense by Max Weber. He was a German, lived in Germany in the 1920s and 30s. He was doing a great deal of work publishing. He was a sociologist and was involved with that regime that rose to power in Germany. And Max Weber is looked at as one who basically codified the theory of government by bureaucracy. And this is his definition of what a bureaucracy is. He said, Max Weber said this: bureaucratic administration is fundamentally domination through knowledge. We look at folks all through Texas and even the rest of the United States, we look at the Constitution, we read it. Whether it's the Texas Constitution or the U.S. Constitution, we read it. And then we see what we're having to deal with every day, and we wonder, how did they make that jump? Why do we look at this and it says we have we have a president, we have a Congress, we have a judicial branch. Well, how come I'm being fined by this group here? You have to understand that's how bureaucracies are set up. They are set up for control. That's what they do. They make, let's just take one that most of you have heard of, the IRS. That is a bureaucracy. Congress made one vote, early 1900s. Congressmen voted once to create this organization. Now, all of those rules that you're having to comply with, those have come from bureaucrats, totally unelected, totally non-responsive. Well, they're not responsible to us, but they're totally non-responsive. Now, this is where people are today, and this is the frustration we feel. There is nothing we can do about this, because very honestly, another 6 or 8 months till November, the U.S. will elect another president. How many of us feel in the back of our minds that it's probably not going to make a bit of difference? Why is that? Because the government is run by a bureaucracy. All right, it is a fourth branch of government. Is it by the people? No. These rules and regulations, I don't know what the position of the Republic of Texas will be. And I say it this way because the people are the Republic of Texas. They're going to have to decide, do they want to live being regulated to death? I got a feeling what that answer is going to be. I got just a real... So, as far as a position on this, I would encourage every Texian to demand the fact that they will not comply to any law, pay any fine that is not voted on and proved by their representative. Yeah, there's going to be laws. There's things we have to do. What was the old phrase they taught us about the Revolutionary War, taxation without representation? Anytime you see a governmental agency, that's what you have. Now, just an aside, and not picking on anybody, I hear it all the time. They're wondering, and it's not really going astray here. I'll bring it back around to it. because this is why I want to work towards having a free Texas. They say we're a bunch of old guys. It's just a bunch of old guys up here, and Ray's the youngest one among us. And and they say, well, what are y'all trying to do? It's just a bunch of old guys. Well, I tell you what it is. We're doing what old guys do. We're working for the future of our children. We are working for the future of our children and grandchildren. Now, we spoke about timeline earlier. For us up here, that timeline has got to be quick if we're going to enjoy any of the fruits of our labors. But it's those children. It's my kids. It's my grandkids. Just think what my young boys will be able to do if they kick off their education based on their own desire to learn a trade or do something, never have to pay an income tax. What if they spent their entire career not having to pay a tax so that somebody else might or might not take care of them later? Is there anything that the people can do about bureaucracies? Only in the Republic of Texas. There may be things that you don't particularly like about me or anyone else, but if you're going to have a chance, the Republic of Texas is the only lawful means of obtaining our freedoms. And so I don't want to continue to pass down an unruly, quote, government organization. So it doesn't matter who's the right hand or the left hand is going to win the next election. The bureaucracy is still going to be there. It's still going to be going. The only way is for the people of Texas to stand up and say, we the people will not be ruled by somebody. Now, we believe in a republic form of government. Therefore, we elect people that will represent us to facilitate getting things done. I understand that. But if you have all of a sudden you have a new law or a new tax, a new fine, well, think about it this way. Has it increased? In 1862, they passed the Homestead Act that opened up the West of the United States. That was an act of Congress, which made a huge difference in American history. It had 1,300 words to it. The entire act passed by Congress, 1,300 words. How many acts or laws can be contained within 1,300 pages? And that's just the parking fees. I mean, you think it's gone exponential. And here's the thing that I'll leave you with this, and I'll pass it on to someone more informed. If there are so many laws that are necessary that your representative cannot know them, there are too many laws. That's what we want. We want our representatives, yes, there's going to have to be laws. And so the position of the Republic of Texas on bureaucracy, I pray in the future that they would choose to have a representative form of government and hold it to that.
Thank you, Chaplain. Secretary of State Billy Ford, do you have any additional comments?
Yes, I think a lot of our bureaucracy problems will solve themselves in the Republic of Texas, because one of our strongest forms of government is going to be at the county level. If you want to be involved, get in your county. We do that kind of now in our schools, but we let our schools get away from us because now they're controlled by Washington, and we don't really have the say there. But you, as a resident of your county, you're the one responsible there. You're the one that can go in and have an office. You're the one that sets the taxes for your schools or your roads or whatever else. You want to drive on dirt roads? That's okay. Everybody agree to drive on dirt roads, and it's fine. But the bureaucracy, I think, will stop when people in the counties get involved and you understand that that's your money leaving that county, or that's your money that you're having to spend for XYZ. It's not coming from somewhere else, and you're not going to rob the county next to you to get some beneficial program. So county level politics is really, really important for the Republic of Texas. That's where the people get involved, that's where the people have their say, and that's where our sheriffs come to play. That sheriff is elected as a lawkeeper in that county. He's the most powerful man in the country, whether you know it or not, even by laws today. He is the man to see. So in the Republic of Texas, I think a lot of the bureaucracy is going to stop. It'll be taken care of at the county level. I yield.
Thank you, Secretary of State. President Jarnacki.
A couple points that I'd like to add. I remember back in the 40s, my granddaddy, when he was a farmer, and up until in the 40s, farmers and ranchers were exempt from Social Security. When that came about to where they had to start paying Social Security, I remember, just as though it was 20 minutes ago, him saying, "This is the downfall of the United States of America, when everybody has to give something that they'll never get back." He says, us at my age, which back then he was in his 60s, he says, we're going to benefit on your back. And that has certainly come to play, that has taken place. Another point I'd like to make is that the bureaucracy within the U.S. and the state of Texas that we're talking about would never have been taken place if the people themselves had not been apathetic to the point that they allowed it to happen. People have got to hold the people that are creating these laws and these bureaucratic boondoggles. They've got to be made to keep their feet to the fire, and that's it.
Thank you, President Jarnacki.